Hey, it's Angie with News OK, and I am here with Becky Varner, who is our recipe for health food columnist for the Oklahoman. And March is a special month. Becky's going to talk about that, and we've got a lot of equipment in front of us right now, essentials that you need in your kitchen. But tell us about March.
I will do that. March is National Nutrition Month, and the theme this year is nutrition from the ground up. And so we are starting with equipment that's important to have for providing nutritious, simple-to-fix meals. Nice. And so I'd like to start by showing some of the equipment. A colander is something that everyone needs in their kitchen, and we want to focus on equipment that has more than one purpose. This can be used certainly to wash any kind of produce, salad greens, and of course the liquid drains from the bottom. It can also be used to drain pasta. And so it's got more than one use. There are lots of varieties of this. The mesh whisk or the mesh varieties are another option. Now this is a
salad spinner.
Yes. And it's not a necessity, but it sure is nice to have. This actually also dries your lettuce greens, salad greens that you might have, but it slices as well, chops. So it's a multi-feature.
That is great.
Well, it really is. This one's electric. That's a manual version of the same type of thing. Then measuring spoons and cups are real important to have. For dry ingredients, we have measuring cups that have a flat rim surface. For liquid ingredients, we usually have either a clear glass or plastic. You want to be able to see, and you can see the measurements there. It makes for more accurate measuring. And then once again, we're looking for multiple purposes with our products. So we've got these that have the nice lids so that you can also use them to store things you might be making in the refrigerator. Cutting boards. Everybody needs a cutting board. And I like to encourage having a couple of them. There are different styles. When you're preparing foods, if you're preparing produce, raw produce, you would want to use a separate cutting board than you would if you were using raw meats.
That's true.
That's so that you don't have any cross-contamination.
This is glass.
But, you want them to be smooth and have a hard surface so that they're easy to get clean. And this is a plastic one. And you can see some of the plastic ones sometimes get little stains in them. These can go in the dishwasher, and that's a great way to be able to clean them as well. Very nice. Other small utensils, vegetable peelers are important. This is a whisk that can be used to get lumps out of just about anything. Knives. You don't need to have a lot of knives, but there are three that everybody needs. One is a butcher knife or chef's knife. We refer to it as butcher knives. This will slice and it will chop. It will do almost anything, usually used with a cutting board. This is a very small paring knife that's used for small things. The serrated knife that you're holding, Angie, would be great for slicing bread, slicing tomatoes, things like that. So those are really the main three knives that people need to have.
And it's something also is probably a sharpener, some way to sharpen your knives.
Thank you for reminding me of that. We do need to have that because you want your knives to stay nice and sharp.
Definitely. Okay,
this is a juicer, a very simple model, which I think works just fine. You just cut your piece of fruit, and then you put it on the cone and twist it, and that gives you your juice, and it holds the seeds and pulp in here. Little scales are nice to have if you're measuring and weighing ingredients for recipes, or if you're looking at portion sizes. Right. So this is just something that is nice to have, again, not essential at all.
Right.
Food processors, graters, blenders, those are all great to be able to show. This is just a little bitty mini version of a grater, and then this is that one that is very handy for just zesting a lemon or a lime, something like that.
Very true. You've got a lot of equipment.
Yes, we do. Coffee grinders. The reason I wanted to have this, again, it's a multi-purpose item. It can be used for grinding coffee, can be used for nuts and seeds and things like that as well. And a lot of times people don't think about that. Right. So, and then these are just some cups that actually can be used with the scales. Mixing bowls. I like the ones that are nested, where you have various sizes, and once again, when they have lids, that makes them gives them just extra purpose because you can use the lids and for storage purposes. Yes. And then this is something I think is just dandy. That lid fits every size that we have on these little storage containers. Nice. So you don't have to look for different size lids to fit them.
Oh, that is
I know.
Nice.
Plus they're clear so you can see through them in the refrigerator.
Yes, I like that.
Baking dishes. These are just a couple. I like the ones that have the server so that you can take them directly from the oven and put them in the server to the table. And these are just a couple of different types. You probably 8-inch square would also be good to have, as well as the 13 by 8-inch, 9-inch.
Right.
And then pots and pans, we've got to have those. The number of those that you would have would partly depend on the size of your family, but we want to have from small to large. And then the steamers are great to be able to have. That's another item in here. If you want to take that, let me take the lid off there so we can just see. That's actually a steamer that fits inside another pot. You just put water in the bottom pot, and then you can steam vegetables.
That's great.
Anything like that. It really is. That is another variety of a steamer that you can get. They're very inexpensive, and you can just set it down inside of a pot that has water in it. And then our slow cooker. This is a small one, of course, that would be just used for sauces and things like that. But I think everybody needs to have at least one slow cooker.
So there are big ones, obviously, too. But that is great that you can do this for little things. You don't have to use the big.
And things like that. That's right. But I'd certainly encourage having a big one as well. And then finally, we need serving dishes or serving spoons, utensils. The wooden spoon is great to use for stirring while you're cooking, and then these can be used as well to have a spatula that's a little bit more narrow, and then some that are bigger, depending on what you're serving, and then a ladle for soup or stews, chilies, things like that.
Yeah, that's true. Until you're in the situation, you probably don't think about it, but like for a cake, you don't need a huge one. You're going to ruin the other pieces.
Well,
but then there are other things that you do need the big one to flip a pancake.
Exactly, or a hamburger patty, anything along those lines. So we do need various sizes. These would be tongs that would be used for something like taking corn on the cob out of boiling water, say. Kitchen shears are helpful. They can be used for chopping fresh herbs. They can be used to trim fat off of meat or skin off of poultry.
That's great.
Yes. And then one other item that we have right there is the pepper mill.
This is cute.
Isn't that fun? For people that like to have freshly ground pepper on their food, this is a great way to be able to encourage that.
Yeah, yes. And not all of them quite look like this, but this one's really cute.
That is cute. You can get those just in the grocery store by the spice sections even. So, yes. And these are just some things that certainly everybody doesn't have to have all of them, but they're all great items to have in a kitchen to prepare healthful, quick, easy, simple food.
Definitely, and healthy for sure. And obviously you're going to have your article kind of about all of these items, right?
Yes, and actually we'll even include other items that are available.
Good. So if you want to look back and kind of get an idea of all of these, equipment, essential things that you need in your kitchen, check out the Oklahoman in the Life section for Becky Varner's Recipe for Health. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Angie.